Let's go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Loan Officer Breakfast Club. Happy Thursday, Juneteenth, my friends. Hope you're doing well. I know a lot of you. Of course, the kids are home from school, a lot of kids are already on summer vacation, so I don't know what the deal is there. But it is a holiday, so happy Juneteenth, everyone. Glad to have you here. Don't forget, we're brought to you by the Mortgage Marketing Animals every Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Time for your absolutely free coaching pleasure because, why not? Why not, right?
So our kids are already on summer break, Frank. See, we had 0 snow days this year.
Wow.
Right? So we got out. We got
out
early.
Yeah.
Got out a little early. Yeah.
It's funny because you miss the mystique of a snow day anymore because they can just do these virtual learning days.
Right.
Since COVID.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we did have some snow in Florida.
Wait, you don't get snow days anymore up north?
No, it's so sad. So I live in Pennsylvania. I don't know if it's the same with you in New York, Maz, but they now say that they're allowed to have, I think it's 4 virtual instruction days. That's what they call them.
Yeah.
So instead of having a snow day, which is sad because you miss the mystique of the snow.
Yeah, you go out with a sled, make the snowman.
We still have them in Michigan.
Do you? Yeah. No school because of snow.
The problem is they call the snow day based on the forecast. So when my kids were little, they would sleep with a spoon under their pillow. They would flush an ice cube down the toilet. They had all these bizarre rituals that created good luck for snow days. You don't need that
that's
anymore.
Funny.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
You've done the spoon thing, yeah. My kid.
So I don't get it. So you put a spoon under your pillow in hopes that there will be snow tomorrow?
Under your pillow.
Okay, yeah, under your pillow.
It's like the snow fairy. There's a tooth fairy. This is a snow fairy.
But unlike Florida, where if you get 1/3 of an inch, the town will shut down for 3 days. We're kind of built for this. So you need 5 or 6 inches, and you need those 5 or 6 inches to start snowing at about 2 a.m. if they're going to school. So.
I see. And then you can have a snow day. Wow.
That's right.
I grew up in Chicago, and we didn't have snow days regardless. We could have 5 feet of snow.
Not a problem.
And we still had to go.
Asa, you are the toughest. You are the toughest hombre on this call, my friend.
Get to school. I don't care. All right. Well, hey, man. Yesterday we had a couple things. We had Steve's master class, and we also had what was the Call Stars 3-hour session called?
3-hour power hour challenge.
3-hour power hour challenge. So if you were in Steve's master class, or if you were on the 3-hour power hour challenge. We'd love to hear from you real quick before we get started this morning as people are rolling in. How'd it go? I'd like to know how it went. Who was on the Call Stars session? Anybody? Raise a hand. Anybody? Rudy, what's going on, man? How'd it go yesterday?
The grind, brother. Just
grind.
Just grinded out all the folks that I was behind on. So I'm up to speed today. So
excellent.
I might be able to get some stuff done today.
Excellent. Get some good results, man.
Yeah, did. I got 5 leads yesterday. And 5 leads.
Those heartless people, man. Don't they know?
5 leads.
God, those heartless. Now you got to work the leads, and you got to go to the closing. And what if it's snowing outside? What?
Yeah. There you go.
I might make as much money as Asa.
I know, right? Maybe. You might get lucky. All right. Who else did Call Stars? Or how about the master class? Who did the master class yesterday? Anybody do the master class? Want to raise your hand? Say hi. Unmute. Call Stars. I can wait in uncomfortable silence. It doesn't matter to me.
I have one.
Okay, go.
So thank you, Carl, for yesterday, by the way. So I made calls on Call Star yesterday, and one of the realtors that I cold called had time to talk right then and had me take out her loan application for her own.
Yay.
Yeah.
That's bizarre. And so this is an agent that you hadn't done business with in the past?
Never.
So you got to be kidding me.
No.
Tell us about the conversation. Like, how did that go from, hi, you've never heard, we haven't spoken before, to, yeah, okay, what's your social? How did it go from that to that?
Yeah. So she, we were talking, and she's like, I never take these calls because I just don't have time for this. But she said, I don't believe in coincidences. And so she said, maybe she's been trying to get approved for a construction loan, And she said, why don't I try you with my loan and then I can give you to everybody else.
Okay.
So if you can get me approved, then there you go.
How's the agent looking? How's the app look? Approvable?
She will be. She just has a little bit to pay off, but then we should be good in like the next month or two.
That's my thing, Vicki. It's like we never say no, we say yes, and here's what you need to do first, right? When you take the approach, it's like works out totally cool. Hey, what did you hear from your wingman yesterday by chance?
Yeah, we texted quite a bit yesterday.
Awesome. Way to go, Vicki. Proud of you, my friend.
Thank you.
Good stuff, Vicki. Excellent stuff. Hey, Vicki, you got a T-shirt, right?
I do. Thank you.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure. Yeah, that's probably what the reason was.
Everybody's got Sue's
wearing
it.
Yeah.
Sue's wearing hers. Like,
there you go, Sue Moody. Excellent, great work.
I'd show you mine if I had one, but
it's not going to happen.
So what are we doing today, Frank?
Well, I just want one more, Carl. I want one more. Either master class. How about master class? Anybody from the master class on today? Come on.
All right.
Come on.
I did them both.
Uncle.
I did both calls and the master class. And though I've been through the master class previously, it's always great to go back and get a refresher because there's always something else that Steve adds in that you can pick up. That one nugget that can make.
What was your takeaway from master class yesterday? What was the thing that stood out? Like, dang it, I'm not doing that. I'm going to do that.
I just got to work on my organization, business organization, and structure. And fine tune that.
That's a big deal.
And you know what? Steve has a really cool approach to that, Frank. So how I used to screw it up is like, all right, I got to organize my day. Steve says, nope, you need to organize the first hour. Get that done. And then next week, let's get the second hour. And then maybe next month, let's work on the third hour. And it's like, oh, well, hell, I can do that. Just for 1 hour, be organized. I can pull that off, right? It's that whole day or that whole week that screws me up. But if you take it like a chunk at a time, it's it works out.
Good stuff. Yeah. Teresa, got your hand up.
Yeah, I did both call stars, the calls yesterday, and then I jumped off and went on to the master class and learned how to separate the fishing and the farming. I think I was just disorganized and trying to do both, and I've got a better understanding of how to separate the two and what I need to be.
Can you give us just a little insight into that for those who don't get it, like me?
The fishing is the activities that you're going to do daily that's going to help you make the money. When you need it right then, what you need to be doing, what you need to focus on.
So I need a closing now. What do I do now to get a closing?
What do I do right now? Because I'm in that situation. What do I do right now that is going to turn the page to bring me in the business?
Yeah.
Got it.
So I was kind of trying to farm and fish all at the same time, and I just wasn't getting anything turned over. So jumping on yesterday to the master class and learning how to separate the two, when I need to be doing the fishing, when do I need to be doing the farming, and what does that plan look like daily to get the results?
Got it.
So
so the farming is
break that down better in a better understanding.
Yeah, and what Teresa's saying is like the farm is like the fishing is the I need a loan now.
The hunting aspect. Yeah.
And the farming is, hey, how do I brand myself? How do I get it so that when I go to the Realtors Association, everybody knows who I am. Everybody knows. They get my pre-approval letter. They know who I am. They're already predisposed to work with me. And it's two different activities with two different desired results. And at some points in our business, we need, I need a loan now, which is what Teresa's saying, right? Which who could blame her, right? That's where a lot of people are. And then it's like, hey, all right, I've got the weight off my shoulders a little bit. Now let's focus on, long-term growth, different activity.
And I also checked out and signed up to have the class for the Raven referrals.
Oh, cool.
I thought that would be something that I could use to help get my name out and get me in front of agents consistently here with doing presentations in the Fort Worth area. So I did that also.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Yeah.
So that means that I can't do the Fort Worth area.
Right, you're out, Carl. You are right out, my friend. You are out. Awesome. Thanks, Teresa. That was great. Appreciate it. And Marty, Guy, Fink, we'll wrap up with you, and then we'll get to the big show.
I was on all day yesterday, all 6 hours. I did have our team sales huddle or company sales huddle was 1 hour in between all of that, but I stayed on. And I made an appointment with a full team of 4 people, and they are all qualified agents. Wow. So that is great. And we're going to talk about MoveTube. And then I have a MoveTube event next week. That's what I called agents all day yesterday, because I needed, from my 90-day action plan that I redid, I have to have more qualified agents refer me business every quarter. So that's what I did yesterday. And I have about 8 people that are going to be coming to the event next week that I have for MoveTube. So
wonderful.
We do a MoveTube event once a month now. So.
Neat. What a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Killer idea. Yeah.
Which is the farming activity.
Yes.
Right, which is farming activity. Good for you, Marty. Yeah, the phone calls were the hunting activity, and then the classes are the farming activity.
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely.
Right.
Good stuff, Marty.
Yeah. Wow. Man, I see what you did there. Very, very clever. Excellent stuff. If you're getting value from this already, go ahead and tap that like button. It helps more loan officers find content that actually makes a difference. And hey, if staying ahead of the market and learning what's really working in our industry matters to you, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss another episode. We read every comment, so drop your thoughts down below. We'd love to hear from you and know what's working or what you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you here next time. Well, cool, man. Thanks, everybody, for sharing. Appreciate it. Awesome. I think we all got a bunch out of that. But now let's go to Owen Lee and the mortgage market.
How's it going, everyone? Good morning. You know what I think I just decided in the last 6 minutes? I want to be like Teresa or Marty or Asa when I grow up.
Yeah.
Just, do the 3-hour power hour and the other class with Steve and the master class and just getting it done.
Yeah, man.
Plus sure. Asa is like reading Homer's Odyssey there in his library. It's just amazing. Well, yesterday we had a Fed meeting. Kind of quiet on the Fed front yesterday. I don't know if someone can throw up those slides.
Yep, I'm on it.
That we had. Thank you, Kristen.
You got it.
My fellow Snow Day.
Don't thank me yet.
Okay.
Right.
Let's fellow Snow Day.
Give it a second. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Good to go.
There we go.
So just a few things this morning, and then end with some good news. But it was Fed Day yesterday, so we cannot talk about this without the Fed. So we had the Fed Day yesterday. You look at that, we traded in a pretty gosh darn tight range, and we were generally up on the day, not a ton, 9-10 basis points, something like that, depending upon what coupon you're tracking. And, the Federal Reserve really didn't say a whole lot yesterday. We're going to get to this statement in a minute. Kristen, can we go to the next slide? All right. So, this is our, last Fed to Fed meeting. I mean, that's pretty gosh darn flat. At the end of the day, we're looking at like a 10, 11 basis point move from one meeting to the next. This really isn't a whole heck of a lot of movement. You can see kind of the things that moved the market. We had the last Fed meeting. We had the Moody's downgrade. We had the big bill, or the big beautiful bill. When that passed, people got a little bit worried about inflation, and then it went to the Senate, and it looks like they might shave off some of the spending. We had the negative ADP report, and then really not a great jobs report, but they had that average hourly earnings go up 0.3%, so that freaked out the market a little bit. But really, it's all within about 15, 20 bips from one Fed meeting to the next. So, but you can see the swings, right? You can see those kind of violent swings. We've been talking about it all year. So how do you succeed in this environment? You do it, everybody on the call did yesterday. I mean, congratulations to all 306 people who are on this call right now for your big win yesterday. for those that did the masterclass and or the power hour calling, because that's how you succeed in this environment. And let's just take a look at what the Fed said. They're really holding off still. They're keeping those rate reductions in their pocket. Kristen, can we flip to the next slide? Thank you. So this is what changed in the Fed statement. I mean, look at how similar this outlet looked. Just going to the second sentence, we went from the unemployment rate has stabilized at a low level in recent months to the unemployment rate remains low. I really don't know what the difference is in those two things. Unemployment is pretty gosh darn low. It's just hovering above 4%. Then we have, we went from committee seeks to achieve maximum employment and inflation at a rate of 2% over the longer run. That's their mandate. Uncertainty about the economic outlook has diminished but remains elevated, right? I mean, no disrespect to the Fed wordsmiths, but what is that diminished but remains elevated? I mean, they're walking such a fine tight with, what was that headline? Fiery but mostly peaceful. Like that it just doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was the one change. Committee is attentive to the risks on both sides of the dual mandate and judges the risk of higher employment and higher inflation have risen. They took that out, so they're a little moderated. And that's it. They changed a few words in 3 sentences. The whole statement, the 2 middle paragraphs, which are the meatiest paragraphs, didn't change at all. So basically what they're saying is our outlook is the same. Last meeting, they said our outlook is the same. Last meeting, they said our outlook is the same. They released the dot plot map, which the majority of the Fed is still looking at 2 interest rate cuts before the end of the year. So we're almost at the halfway point of the year. A lot of the betting markets are on September and December. Yes, Chad, they need to eliminate this thesaurus subscription from the Fed writers because they're getting a little too crazy there. But, at this point in time, it's so talked about, it's so anticipated. I don't know that an actual Fed change is going to do much for interest rates. It may float it down for a little bit, but I think to Josh's point, I think it's mostly priced in. I think what would move the markets is if something happened where people thought we were going to get 3 cuts, or something happened where people thought we were going to get 0 cuts or 1 cut. We'd see a little bit of movement. But this is so talked about now, and this was really the Fed's goal, right? They wanted to talk about it. They wanted to, telegraph in advance. So this is what we have. This Fed meeting was like a nothing burger, and I mean, to borrow a phrase from Carl, there really was much. I see a comment in there about Bill Pulte asking for Chair Powell's resignation. Let's just say I don't think Chair Powell lost any sleep over that one, and we'll leave it at that. I honestly, again, not to get political, but sometimes all the tweeting and everything, I think actually makes it harder for Chair Powell to do what they're asking. You can be a fan of the Fed chair, you can not be a fan of the Fed chair, but they desperately want to seem apolitical. They don't want to be political at all. And so if a politician calls for something and then the Fed does it, that doesn't look so good. So honestly, I think all this rumbling only makes it harder. I don't, I understand a lot of what goes on in Washington. I don't really understand that one. But speaking of Washington, D.C., I've got some great trigger lead news this morning. This is literally hot off the press from yesterday. Our bill has really been moving. So the entire House of Representatives has moved to vote on the bill on June 23rd. So the Mortgage Action Alliance, I know I talk about this a lot. There's 318 people on right now. We should all be members of the Mortgage Action Alliance. They issued a call to action yesterday which means you got to click a few buttons so your representative and your 2 senators from your state hear from you on your desire to have the Trigger Leads bill passed. But it's scheduled for a vote on June 23rd. And it, you know, obviously came out of committee at 46-0. This is lightning speed for Washington, D.C. I mean, I know it depends, right? We've been working on this bill for 3 years now, and that doesn't seem like lightning speed. It's fast by Washington, D.C. standards to get an independent piece of legislation passed in this kind of political environment. But we had the almost victory last December. This year's been moving at lightning speed. So this vote on the 23rd, then they're going to have to go to conference committee because there are very slight differences. It's not exactly the same bill. So they're going to have to go to conference committee. Somebody on this call, maybe in Washington, D.C. next week to have dinner with the Speaker of the House. And that will certainly be on the topic of conversation as we talk about a lot of mortgage issues. And but I really think we're getting close on this. So, you know, we're going to talk more about this. Carl and I have one of our mortgage town halls this afternoon, and this is one of our in-depth topics. Not just is the Trigger Lead bill going to pass, but we all should be concerned about how to thrive in a post-Trigger Lead world. It's going to change, and it's going to change, you know, how you might want to look at it. There are some advantages, some big advantages that people don't see. Not just the obvious ones, but the ways you could really ratchet up your business with that opportunity. And we're going to be talking about that more this afternoon, Carl and I. So if you haven't registered, I'm not 100% sure where you go. Carl, I'm sure will let us know. And but this is going to be a big topic because this is really moving fast. It seems like I'm talking about or posting to LinkedIn an update almost every single week. And so very, very good news. So calm on the interest rate front, full speed ahead on the Trigger Lead front. 2 things that are going well. So things are good.
Hey, thanks for enjoying this Loan Officer Breakfast Club YouTube video. If you are into industry news, if you like to keep up with what's going on within the mortgage and real estate industry, you might not be aware of this, but you can get free news snippets every single day by going to loanofficerbreakfastclub.com. In the top nav bar, you'll see in the news. Click it, daily, fresh news about the mortgage and real estate industry. There's even loan officer perspective and realtor perspective on each news story that you can make use of in your marketing. So enjoy loanofficerbreakfastclub.com/in the news. How about, I'm curious, and maybe you already said this and I was spacing out when you said it, but it said there that it was slightly amended by the House Financial Services Committee. Right. On that last slide. What was that what did they slightly amend?
What they slightly amended, so there's a representative, I believe her last name is Chen. She's a Korean lady, Republican from Southern California, who in whose district a couple of the credit bureaus have their corporate offices. And she obviously, they've all seen the momentum behind this bill, but they added a study that they want done 12 months after the fact to see whether or not the absence of Trigger Leads has harmed the general public's ability to get a better deal. And that was the concession that they made. So this particular representative then abstained from the vote on the House Financial Services Committee, so it was able to pass without objection. So that was the one amendment, was the adding of that study. That's why they said slightly amended.
Interesting.
Yeah, and by Washington, D.C. standards, that's a extremely minimal concession. So
interesting.
Yes.
Awesome. So the town hall is today, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
The town hall's today. What time was that again?
1 o'clock
ladies?
Eastern.
What is it? 1 o'clock Eastern. So it's
1
o'clock Eastern, and we're gonna do our best to cover 5 different topics. We're gonna talk a little bit about interest rates and volume forecast, which is some very interesting news. We're gonna talk about it's are we shifting? Not are we? We're definitely shifting into a buyer's market. It seems like some of it is regional, and we're going to be talking about that. Owen found some great graphs, so you can kind of get in mind, is your area, is it buyers or sellers market? And it's very, we show the data to support it for each and every state. We're going to talk a little bit about AI versus the loan officer, kind of like who wins. Maybe it's both, maybe it's none, maybe it's, anyway. So we got some.
That's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah. Again, we're going to we're going to go a little bit more into the trigger leads. Again, we're getting very close on this one. And we're also going to, if time permitting, we got to pack all this in a 60 minutes. It's kind of the legal scoop of LO compensation change. Does it mean anything? And what's, what kind of, who's going to benefit from it? And it's likely, it might not be who you think. And so that's what we're going to do today. So if you just go to mortgagetownhall.com, there is one thing though, just one heads up on the town hall. Let me just share my screen here just real quick. So, whoops, I need to make me an admit, Kristen.
Oh, I'm sorry, Carl.
That's all right. I got demoted the other day because I.
Well, I will just say this while Carl's about to share a screen. We were putting the finishing touches on the presentation, and we were like, well, if you want to learn how you're going to get business, how much business there's going to be, where the business is going to be, who you're going to competing against, and how you're going to get paid, then you should tune in. If you're not,
if not, it'll be a total. It'll be a total waste of your time otherwise.
Right. That's right.
So I haven't checked yet. So so we have 1,526 people registered. Here's the thing, and this is a real thing. Zoom only allows 1,000.
Right.
And so make sure you show up. Like, I'm going to start it. So just an inside scoop for you guys. I'm going to start it like 10 minutes early. We might be in there chatting a little bit. And frankly, I might just have a countdown clock. But if you just log in and get signed in, you're in. Now, does everybody show up? Of course not. Right. But just we'll probably have another couple hundred register as the day goes on. So make sure you get in there about 10 minutes early, because I can't give you a VIP pass or anything like that, because they literally limit it to 1,000. And last time we maxed that out, I think there was like 300 or 400 people that couldn't get on. So make sure you get there like about 10 minutes early. It's some really good stuff. Owen and I've spent a lot of time preparing for this thing. The funny thing about this stuff, like we try to keep the news we keep the news as updated as possible. And working on this one, it was like we had it all done, and I get a text from Owen about 9:30 last night. Wait, stop
the press.
Stop the presses. Here's some yet new information. It was like, oh crap, we can't leave that out. So we'll have a good time. Be sure to show up.
Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's going to be full for sure. You got to get in early. It'll fill up. All right. Well, wow, what a great day. Owen Lee, thanks, man. It's always such a pleasure to have you on and hear from you, my friend. I'll give you a big
my best morning of the week.
Yeah, man. Ours too. Good stuff, everyone. Man. We really appreciate you. We got the slides in there too. We got the PDF of Owen's slides in the chat. So you guys got that there. I think we're pretty much at the top of the hour. So why don't we wrap this up with somebody telling us what we do on a Thursday? What is our activity today that we do? That is just, this is a great day as well. This is a super, super good. They're all great days. But anybody want to volunteer to share what we do today? Anyone? And again, don't worry. Okay, Josh, right away.
You got to share your camera, Josh. You got a camera on?
Dude, like a quick draw, Carl. It was like a quick draw. I didn't even finish saying it. Yeah.
Well, good looking face like that. How come you're not showing that?
Come on.
Holy cow.
Oh, sorry. Pre-approved and looking. Touch the agent, touch the borrower, ask them for business, and make sure they're going house hunting this weekend.
I think that sounds pretty good.
I like that.
You're gonna wrap that up like that. That's great.
Pre-approved looking day.
All right. Hey, we will have Chris Johnstone once again tomorrow from Africa. Go ahead, Carl.
Hey Frank, is Monday a free day for us? Like, do we have?
It is a free day. It is a free day.
I got a topic I was working on this morning. I was shooting some videos out with my video. I have a videographer, of course, all the important people do.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're out by the beach this morning, like at 7 o'clock before it got 143 degrees outside. We were out there literally at like 6:45 this morning. And anyway, I was out there shooting. I'm like, something just came to me. There's 3 reasons and 3 reasons only you're not getting, I shouldn't say it that way, that some people aren't getting referrals. There's 3 reasons and 3 reasons only. So we'll cover that on Monday.
Okay.
That's my cliffhanger.
I love it.
We need some music with that. Cliffhanger.
3 reasons and 3 reasons only.
Cliffhanger. Okay. There you go. How's that?
It's easy, and it's easy to fix. It's just if you didn't know to fix these things, you wouldn't know to. But 3 reasons, 3 reasons only that I can come up with.
Hey, Carl, just a side note, you may want to fire the makeup artist on your crew. Just saying.
Yeah, I know.
You may want to have another look at that. There you go.
Come to find out, the video looks exactly like me, and that's the problem. That's the problem.
All right, let's get out of here. You guys have a great day, man.
On the town hall.
Get on the town hall, baby. Get in early. Otherwise, you might not make it in. You guys have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Chris Johnstone from Africa, once again, will be joining us. You guys catch up with you later. See you tomorrow. Adios. Bye-bye.
Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you at 1 o'clock.